Scott, it was hot again, a weather impact alert day today. We've got another one for tomorrow as those heat advisories continue through at least Friday. Still feeling like the triple digits in Shelbyville, in Bedford, in Lafayette and Terre Haute. Continue to take precautions from the high heat. We did have some storms fire up this afternoon, and a lot of them, but they've all now moved into portions of Ohio where at times they are dealing with some warnings. I've got one cell weakening just a little bit in between Marion and Gas City, so a pop-up shower still possible this evening and a rumble of thunder, but it's not expected to be widespread. The bigger story, the fact that we're going to stay in the 80s through 11 o'clock tonight, back into the 90s tomorrow with a few storms tomorrow afternoon.
Angela, thanks. Tonight, more confusion and tension within the Indianapolis City County Council.
So within the last 24 hours, Councilor Krista Carlino was voted back on the Democratic caucus for the Indianapolis City County Council. Marina Silva's been following this story for us. So Marina, what have you learned?
Well, this impact has caused a lot of frustration between people. Now, it's felt by just more than the councilors. City activists tell me they're concerned over what's happening. Some are calling on the council to get their act together.
Krista Carlino now back on the Democratic caucus just a day after she was voted off. A source close to the situation told 13 News Democratic councilors held a private phone meeting at 8 p.m. last night. That meeting was just hours after Carlino made her public apology. At 8:39 p.m., a statement came out from the Democratic caucus saying Councilor Carlino has and continues to remain on the Democratic caucus. The controversy started over these statements Carlino made at a committee meeting last week.
And furthermore, I am calling for the resignation of our council president and vice president from their roles.
Now, after her apology, Carlino says she will focus on her district's needs, but the turmoil has caused concern.
I don't think there's trust between them, let alone people saying we trust them.
Pastor David Green is part of the concerned clergy of Indianapolis. He says watching the drama unfold is frustrating.
There's so many things that are occurring from a national level and from a state level that says at the local level we really need to be dialed in and focused because of the needs of the community, the challenges that we're facing and going to continue to face, things that clearly need.
The Democratic caucus has voted 2 counselors out of the caucus just this year.
I don't want counselors to have the pressure of, I can't really be honest, or if it was best for my district not to support this, that they can't say that. If they say that, they're going to be voted off the caucus.
He's hoping that trend does not continue.
That we can't continue and be, quote unquote, a democracy, or the Democrat Party is supposed to be a big tent and open to all. Well, that's not very open.
Councilors are hoping they can move forward from this, but that has yet to be seen.
So overall, Marina, how did she get back on the caucus?
So we were told yesterday they originally offered her to make the public apology, and during that meeting she did not commit to it, and then she was voted off. Then after she did make this long apology and took responsibility, it was just 4 hours until she was reinstated. The caucus voted her back on. Now, as for her committee assignments, that's unclear. She had originally said she was taking herself away from her committees.
Yeah, she had said she would step down and that she would focus on her area, but as of right now, it's not sure whether they accepted that
Correct.
change in her responsibilities. We'll keep an eye on it so we know what's going on. Thanks so much, Marina.
Tonight at 6, a former school resource officer at Bloomington North High School is now accused of sexual misconduct involving a high school student.
Jason Tatlock faces several charges that include child seduction. Court documents reveal the investigation started last June. That's when the victim's sister told Indiana DNI officers about Tatlock taking her sister on a fishing trip and allegedly kissing and touching her. The victim told investigators he also emailed her outside of school hours.
Monroe County Schools sent parents a message saying that Tatlock resigned the day after those allegations were reported. Officers arrested him in Owen County yesterday. That's where he made his first appearance in court today.
Plans to rezone nearly 470 acres in Franklin Township for a proposed data center now are coming closer to reality.
So the hearing examiner just approved and sent that proposal to the Development Commission, but not without some pushback. All of this comes the same week the Indiana Economic Development Corporation approved incentive packages for 4 data center projects across our state, including one right here in Marion County.
But not everyone is convinced that the trade-off is worth it. Residents say they're so concerned about noise and they're concerned about traffic.
Today, I believe that it's going to prevent other businesses from having their energy needs, and that I can't have. I have to have the ability when a business wants to come in and can provide a couple hundred jobs that we can light up energy for them immediately.
As of now, residents say they hope they can appeal this decision.
This week, Indiana Governor Mike Braun announced he's replacing the entire 9-member board of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation.
That move came after he ordered an audit into how that agency does its business. He says the goal moving forward now is to be more transparent. And tonight we're hearing from former Governor Mitch Daniels. He's the one who created the IEDC. That happened nearly 20 years ago when he first took office as governor.
Our Dustin Grove sat down with the former governor just a few weeks ago to talk about his original vision for this agency and what he thinks about it today.
Do you think IEDC should be or could be more transparent than it is?
Quite possibly. I'll just simply caution that there needs to be a degree of confidentiality around the discussions, or some companies will just go somewhere else. They can't afford to have their competitors, have their regulators, have others know what they're contemplating doing. So yeah, I think in certain aspects, and maybe land development, if there's ever going to be any more, would be a good example. But be careful not to go too far, or you'll really cost us jobs and opportunity that Hoosiers deserve.
The conversation continues this weekend on Crossroad Politics, streaming Sunday morning at 10 or on demand anytime if you go to our streaming service, WTHR+. Angela?
Anne-Marie, the heat wave continues another day in the 90s. Tomorrow, a look ahead to the weekend in the 7-day.
Also still to come, where do your tax dollars go?
We've been adding up how much the state is now spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars to handle legal fees. You're not going to like this total. We have it for you next.